talked about how the people often would like to dive into the higher teachings of Advaita and be not so keen on developing a mind that's capable of enlightenment, and that's certainly been my experience. How to accept that it's a process and not get disappointed when I feel like I'm not where I'd like to be.
Oh, your disappointment's based on belief systems that are out of touch with reality. Expectations attached to those belief systems aren't being met and you're feeling disappointed. But maybe you should examine the belief systems that you started with and see if they're real, or if they're just something that you've bought that's never been truly examined. You see, if you study Buddhism or most of the Hindu sects or even Taoism, it's all based on practice. It's not based on, wow, let's go to enlightenment straight away, which some of the New Age methodologies are based on. They don't work. But they make some people a great deal of money. And they tend to sell the idea that it's easy and that you're just this far away from awakening right now. Well, you are, if you can get rid of the I. But for the I to learn to lay down, it takes a lot of practice. First of all, you can't surrender something that you can't see totally. So the mind needs to become conscious of itself. This in itself is higher consciousness. And that takes quite a bit, because for most people they're unconscious to a lot of what their mind is doing. They're unconscious to their defense systems, they're unconscious to their belief systems, they're unconscious to their agendas. So they react instead of respond. I don't think there's anything harder actually than raising your consciousness levels. Most human adults don't change their consciousness levels from the age of about 20 on to death. As a matter of fact, after a certain age their consciousness levels go down because fear becomes more prominent, which takes them into lower consciousness. For someone to raise their consciousness levels, they have to actively have a practice of raising their consciousness levels. And if you study Buddhism or Hinduism or Taoism, they will tell you that. If you study the New Age religions, they'll tell you something different. But they don't actually work.